Hello, and thank you for joining our Fireside chats at the European Cardano community. I am Marcus, one of the core team members, and if you like what we are doing, please consider supporting our individual projects. At time of this recording, these are Davide's Rookies Game, Ricardo's Web3 user group, or delegating to my Cardano stake pool with the ticker birth to support us at Larissa Health. You will find the links to our guests and our projects below the video. Now hit the notification bell, give us a thumbs up, and enjoy this session.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Let's give you a minute to everybody to set in, to connect.
Everybody on mute.
Okay. Hello. Welcome, everybody, to another appointment of our usual town hall fireside chat. A lot of nice guests as usual, a lot of news to discuss, a lot of events happening in our ecosystem, a lot of pigs flying around, and reaction to the very same animals. But anyway, welcome everybody, and we can start. Usually we open our fireside chat reading the mantra. Our mantra is taken directly from the one of the global town hall, but we translated every line to a different language on the European Union, so to make it even more messy and more fun to read. So as usual, I'm the only Italian guy here, and we read the first line, and everybody else is welcome to follow up. Benvenuti all'esperimento.
Les choses peuvent. Oh, damn, boys. I'm sorry. You got me.
Les choses peuvent.
Hey.
Hebra. Oh, do I do the feeling the documentation? I'm the only German in the house currently, right? Yeah.
Yes. So differ greatly between iterations.
Alexander? Do you want to?
I don't know where to begin reading that. I mean, I'll read the English.
Yeah, it'll be English. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's the fourth hand. Disorient.
Yeah, disorient, overload, and inspire.
Wonderful.
Stanislav, do you want to do the next one? Our goal?
Provide a safe and lively environment for all to explore to the highest potential of human collaboration.
That's Asphalt.
Asphalt, yes. Fantastic. We also have a second mantra that is local for us, and usually is Marcus' burden to take it over. So please take it away.
You read it. Keep your notes up to date. Try to study or learn something new every day. Thank you for being here, guys. Support and connect with community members for synergies and goals. Be friendly, inclusive, and wise with words, even in anger. And share information without destroying dreams, people, or the reputation. Welcome to the European Fireside Chat.
Woo! Thank you, Marcus. I want also to remind everybody that we also host several different X Twitter spaces in languages for the European Union. We host a regular Greek ones the first Monday of each month. We have usually Italians one every month, and we are open to have many more. So if you know anybody who wants to host X space in another language, let us get in touch with us, and we'll make it happen very gladly. We also now organizing in-person events that we call country hubs. So they are small workshop to present Cardano or related projects. We had a fantastic one in Italy. That was the first one with the guys of Fluid Tokens. It was extremely interesting because they attracted the curiosity also from Bitcoin users. And it was good to have. And I just back from Greece, where the guys that are amazing, really. They have an energy that, wow, I was really impressed about the work. They hosted a 2 days workshop. The first day was entry level, the second day was intermediate in a very nice location in the center of Athens. Gorgios, nice to have you here. And yeah, guys, I'm very impressed with you. There will be another one in Thessaloniki tomorrow. So those guys are on a roll, and they deserve all the respect we can have. Thank you again, guys. But let's. Somebody has any question?
Yeah, I just want to chime in. Georges,
Please.
do you want to give us a quick insight how it was?
Yeah, but I have a slide for that after this one.
Oh, nice, nice.
And I would like to start with the guys. Georgios, please go ahead. It was the first day of the workshop.
Hello, guys.
Hello,
Hey,
welcome,
man.
welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Loud and clear?
perfectly.
Hello, hello. Very nice to be joining you here today in my first Fireside chat. Very glad to be here. Do you want me? I'm sorry, I didn't cut what you were saying. Do you want me like to tell you a few words about the workshop now, later? I didn't
Now
get
it will be amazing. It's your
that
time
would
to
be
shine.
amazing. Yeah, okay. Okay, we hosted 2 workshops, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. The photo that you are displaying here, David, is from the Saturday one. Thank you for joining us also. The turnout for the Saturday's one was like 5 people. In Sunday, we were more lucky. We had 10 people, which were really nice for us. And okay, it was introductory stuff. It was our first event. We were very happy to be able to host it, and we were also very lucky because like 2 of our 4 members are Greek YouTubers. So the transition to a live event via the slideshow format was very smooth and good. And we want to make it a regular thing in Greece to host like 1 or 2 per month, let's say. And maybe transition and do also something a little bit more aimed towards like veteran users. This is aimed towards, newbies. We had good discussions, good questions, a great a mix of the attendees' backgrounds. We had like journalists and people working for the public sector and people working for the private sector, which was good for us. We want to have a mixed crowd. And thank you a lot for your support and for your, for everything you've done for us.
You are so welcome.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So how was the crowd in itself? Was it you guys, you knew each other before, some of you did, but did you get new guys on board as well who joined?
No, we have as you can see in the picture, we are 4 of us that were working that were wearing the Odyssey DAO shirt. We're all members of Odyssey DAO, and the rest of us, the rest of the people here, and also on Sunday were new people. Okay, it was some of our friends and friends and stuff like that. We had also like some random people that just showed up, and that was good for us. And okay, like we had a good discussion from questions that were from completely newbies, and some people that they were part of the Cardano ecosystem, but not part of our DAO. And this was a good opportunity for us to get to know each other better.
What does Odik or Odys exactly do?
DAO, yeah, I should have done that. In the beginning, we are Odyssey DAO. We are the Greek Cardano DAO, and the the workshop were organized and the presentation were made by our members. It was hosted by us with your help and insights. And everybody that wasn't our member, every attendee, it was not part of our DAO. It was new to us. So it was a chance for us to get to know each other better, for the Greek people to know our DAO better, and also to know the existence of the ECC better.
And what does Odyssey DAO do?
A little bit of everything, to be honest. We have begun to, our main focus and effort is to spread awareness of the Cardano ecosystem across all Greece. to spread awareness for the Cardano ecosystem, we have to spread awareness for the crypto ecosystem in general, because the Greek public is not, let's say, crypto savvy. And after that, we want to run some projects of our own, get in touch with Greek, let's say, farmers and stuff like that, and to really be like the mediator between our between the Cardano ecosystem and between the Greek community, let's say the Greek, not crypto community, Greece in general. I'm
Okay.
sorry if you hear a dog barking.
That's fine. Don't worry. Very cool. So, how can people get in touch with you? Is it best via our Discord or with the GitHub items that have the events now currently? What's the best way? Or is it your Twitter account? Which
Look,
handle do you have?
the best way for in the beginning is our Twitter. I will drop it in the chat in a little bit. And we have the Discord. The Discord at the moment is members only. And during like the next month, we're gonna open it up to for people to join freely there. We are aimed to our Discord is aimed toward like Greek people. It's a Greek Discord, let's say. Just so you know, because there are a lot of we figure that because there are a lot of sources of information in English about crypto and Cardano. What was lacking, it was a Greek-speaking source of information. So we are aimed towards being that, to be like a DAO, an organization, let's say general, that helps to spread awareness and to support like users in the Greek-speaking world, Greece and Cyprus, but primarily on Greek. We know English, we can speak English, of course, but our content, let's say, is in Greek. I'm gonna drop our Twitter in a bit in the chat.
Cool. So if you can put it in the chat, we will make sure to have it reported in the description of the YouTube video.
Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you again, Georgios.
So if you're watching the video and you want to join us as well, doing some of these workshops, we trying to create blueprints for founders and find ways to answer questions of how do I donate properly in Cardano, for example. This is one of Ricardo's heart matters of the heart, if you want, if that's correct English. That's what we're trying to solve here, where we try to create little blueprints. And if you have ideas, if you have questions or queries that you want to get answers or that you have answers to, just reach out. Look at the guys from Odyssey. Then we have Martin, who's doing one in Bulgaria with the Bulgarian community. We get one in Germany hopefully soon. We have French guys, we have English guys, etc., etc. So join the movement, help us there. We are happy to support you with the funds that we got from Fund 11. So let's get on.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you again. Thank you again. I'll see you soon in Greece another time. Let's start with the following guest, Stanislav. Do you want to take it on?
Yeah.
Please tell us something
Hi,
about
everyone.
yourself on the zkFold. Everybody knows it, but it's nice to see you explain it to us.
Thank you. So I guess that most of us heard about zkFold, and we are building scalability solutions on Cardano. So it's like layer 1, layer 2 scalability solution. Currently, our main product is layer 2 sidechain, and basically we aim to make transactions much cheaper and faster.
Nice.
Yeah, faster.
So, what are the current updates? Where are you now? I know you've been like running through F11.
Exactly. Yes. So
building like crazy.
we're progressing quite well on Fund 11 proposals. So we won 3 out of 3 proposals. One of them is zkFold symbolic language, and we have submitted the second milestone. We are just in a few days before submitting the third milestone. Two other proposals are in partnership with Anastasia Labs. That's a P2P on ramp proposal, and back-end solution with Maestro. With Maestro, we have just submitted the second milestone. So everything looks good. So meaning that we aim to complete zkFold symbolic earlier than expected. Okay, so that gives developers more tools and chances to build completely different projects, I would say. Huh? So fingers crossed, we have a really amazing team, and I have no doubts that we will do it earlier than we promised.
Sure you do.
Can you, for those who are new to the system and are unfamiliar with zkProof, I know in the beginning when you had your first public interviews, everything was very technical, and I think you've been so prominent now that there's probably a kind of a gist of it that you could give to the less tech savvy people to understand when they should be aware of zkProof and what is it, when is it okay to be like completely public? Just to...
You mean zkProof in general as a technology?
Yes.
So zkProof, that's a zero knowledge proof. That means that I can prove you something without revealing any data. And I can provide you a few examples to understand what does it mean. So the simplest example is the following. You have your bank account, right? And you have thousands of transactions within your bank account starting from the 1st of January until the end of December. And on the 31st of December, you receive a bank statement from your bank saying like, guys, you have 1 million on your bank account. So you trust this bank statement without double checking all the transactions within the year. So zkProof works in a similar way. So you have a proof, 1 million on your bank account, which you trust and you work with this information. Or if you want to, you can double check and go through all your transactions within 1 year, and you will come back to the same result, 1 million on your bank account. And that's kind of a scalability solution for most of the cases, meaning that it's much faster and cheaper to work with only one number, 1 million on your bank account, instead of having and working with thousands of transactions. Another example, just to understand how zkProof technology can be applied to different other cases, is the following. Let's assume you want to try Italian or French wine, right? So tomorrow you come to a shop and they ask you for ID. You show your ID, and that means that they will see your date of birth, so exactly when you were born, your name, address, probably sometimes address, and so on. So instead of showing all these private data, and which are not necessary to taste the wine, you can only show your driving license. That means you are immediately over 18 without revealing any additional data. So those two examples show you the beauty of zkProofs. The first one will be applied for scalability, and the second one is for privacy.
Perfect. Beautiful examples. Thank you.
you.
That was great. That was great. Perfect. Let's introduce the other two guys, and then let's see how they connect with the topic as well. And let's see what conversation spins off from that.
Okay, let's move forward then. Good idea, Marcus. I don't even try to pronounce it. Please help me out.
I think it's Ekival, Boaz. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. This is Boaz from Goma, DR Congo. I'm the community manager of Ekival Lab. So the one who could present will not coming because of hard costs. So I'll be here to present Ekival. Ekival that a DEX based in Africa, and the development is undergoing. Yeah. So is this time to present?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Just do the
Great, thank you.
introduction, and then you can have questions or talk with Stanislav and Alexander. So we changed the format a little bit so that it is a bit more loose of a conversation, like in a fireside chat.
Okay, so I should go over to give the mic to Alexander now.
Give Boaz a little bit time to explain what he does.
Okay, yeah, I didn't understand. Things may break, guys.
Okay. So, Ekival, this is for moving money, getting value for African people, because what is known here in Africa when it comes to transfer money, it's really requiring much fees. So we are going to try to decrease these fees with Ekival DEX. So we are trying to work with EDA that is not really easy to use in Africa when it comes to give remuneration to African people who are working in Cardano. So it's really not easy for them to take EDA and change it in locally currency. So what Ekival will be providing as a DEX, this will be providing exchange, fiat to token, it's not custodial, money transfer, payment form like cash, mobile money, and other digital forms. I've already talking about EDA. About applications with Ekival, we will have a marketplace, exchange tokens, then goods and services in coming days, or I can say years. So we have also a roadmap. We have already a white paper that I'll be sharing, the link inside. The smart contract is already done by Janti. He is a blockchain dev living in Canada and the promoter of the project. We are ongoing with the Cardano testnet for desktop and the application design. Apart from that, we have social media like Twitter, YouTube, and Discord. I'll be sharing the links here. In August, we have to do the audit of our smart contract to ensure that all things are correct. Apart from that, they will be launching the Ekival desktop here soon. And we will be adding on the API, the KYC offices in December 2024. And after all that, we will be developing a mobile app for friendly users to allow everybody to have access to the DEX. From where we got funded, privately first for about $20,000 from India, DRC, here where I am, Iran, Canada. And in Project Catalyst, we got funded in Fund 11 for about 9,988 EDA allocated for the DEX implementation, smart contract auditing, and API connections. So I will be maybe answering other questions through the discussion. And I'm not really the good person plus to respond technical questions. So because I'm only a community manager and I'm learning more and more about Ekival. Thank you.
You are much more than that, boss. Thank you very much.
So what is the misconception about ADA in Africa? I think that was one of the wake-up calls that I had is not everybody's familiar with crypto, even though we think everybody is. Like, this is a huge movement. We're still a small circle. And what I found when I did a donation is or actually a payment, I was asked, how do I get the crypto into fiat? So that's what we see here, the solution for that. And if you want to, if you did something, you want to get paid, and if you got promised that you get paid, you want it even more. So obviously this is what Ekival is tackling. There was another solution similar, but this one is a fiat on-ramp and off-ramp that is non-custodial, if I summarize it correctly. And the question is, from a technical standpoint, this would have been probably very interesting. But do you have an idea, or can you summarize how this non-custodial part does work? Is there a pool of fiat that people put in, or how does this work? Do you know that? Boaz?
Can you feel me?
Sorry. How does the non-custodial transfer between fiat and crypto token work in a non-technical way?
Yeah, I'll try to say something, but I'm not sure that will be the right answer. We have, for example, people will be using Ekival. These are from diaspora traders and international students. So, for example, here in my country, Goma Town, some students have their, can say, parents or someone who is in Canada, and he want to send EDA from Canada to Congo so that he may pay fees or academic fees to the student, but he doesn't have mean, and he sees to send this by bank, that it will take time and much fees, such a thing. So, and someone else is here, he would like to send money from Congo to Canada. So the one wanting cash will be asking the crypto from Canada, and the one who would like to send cash to Canada will such exchange. I don't know how to explain it. Is here someone who can translate if I say it in French, please?
My French is really bad. I can try to make something up.
Ok, so I give it briefly in French. Donc, il y a quelqu'un qui a du... Okay. Can I go?
Yes, please.
Try it, but
okay.
We can
use il y a quelqu'un qui a du cash au Canada.
YouTube.
Non, il y a du cash au Canada, il veut transférer ça à son étudiant qui est au Congo RDC. Alors, lui, il va envoyer de la crypto à travers Ekival. Et nous allons prendre ces cash ici localement et nous allons recevoir la crypto de l'autre côté du Canada. Alors, nous aussi, quand nous aurons besoin d'envoyer au Canada de l'argent, nous allons envoyer les cryptos et nous allons rester avec les cash ici. C'est comme ça que ça pourrait fonctionner selon l'idée du promoteur. Alors, il y a des explications techniques qui sont derrière ça, mais que moi, je ne saurais pas donner ici. C'est par exemple quand il parle des signatures avec des smart contracts, quand on voit que le cash est là et que la crypto est envoyée, alors on confirme cela par un contrat intelligent. J'aurais voulu qu'il soit ici, malheureusement, il n'est pas là. Merci.
That was very fast. Le jour, je ne comprends pas. Et où va le fiat rester dans le process?
Pardon?
I knew it. You wouldn't understand my French. So where would the fiat rest during the transfer?
I was saying that we will be having agents that will be helping us to give cash and facilitate the exchange. So we have to, I can say, to train or such a thing, to give awareness of what is blockchain, what is crypto, what is Ekival, things will be working inside all these things. So we will be having our own agents with whom will be in collaboration.
Okay, cool. Alexander, I know you are checking over different blockchains, and do you have similar observations? Maybe you want to introduce Angry Crypto Show and then make that spin back to the questions. If you have seen something similar on different blockchain networks and how they have solved this, if you have seen something like that.
Yeah, sure. I'll introduce myself. So I'm Alexander, aka Angu Crypto Show. Angu Crypto Show, in a nutshell, started kind of like at the end of 2023. It's kind of like a new idea I had. The whole idea was to try and attack some of the misinformation or the bad practices, and just create a channel increasing awareness. So I'll dial back to myself. So I'm based in Canada. I was born and raised in Canada. Like you, Marcus, my French is not that great. My French is okay, so don't ask me to speak Francais. It won't end too well. But yeah, I love crypto. I love Cardano. Started discovering Cardano back in 2020. And we'll dive into some other stuff in later on. But yeah, I'll kind of give a quick synopsis. So a little bit about myself. I loved growing up doing lots of sales, DJing, music production. Like many of you guys, I got serious into crypto in the past few years, especially when fiat was really debasing. You mentioned, Marcus, multiple networks for sure. I remember mining Ethereum back in the day. I've mined Bitcoin back in the day. Cardano has a special place in my heart because of just everything that it has going for it. But with some of the projects mentioned, like zkFold and this DEX and whatnot, and especially even the event in Greece, I think that a lot of the pain points we experience and a lot of the stuff that we desire is very similar across all different nations. I think it's beautiful to have a DEX, some sort of platform to assist people with something that's kind of for their niche, something that is branded for them and more comfortable for them and builds more trust and can bring in local users. And I think word of mouth is very powerful. So I would love to see how that DEX progresses. And with this stuff with zkFold, very interesting. I really like the analogies that you gave with progressively disclosing. It's like, why do we need to disclose everything all at once? Why can't we just disclose little bits and pieces or remove intermediaries? So I think that the work there with ZK is beautiful. And yeah, dialing back to the Greece event, it's great. I think that these little workshops, as a DJ, what I found was that even the big DJs, they love this. They love the small pool parties. They love the small little events. Those are the most intimate. Those are the ones where the numbers are smaller, but there's so many creative and unique personalities. And so seeing these workshops, big or small in different places of the world, they really excite me. What I do with Angry Crypto, if you want to go to the next slide, it just has some metrics. Sure. With Angry Crypto, I cover Cardano daily. Every day I'm making Cardano videos to help, and what's my mission? To help increase awareness to these cool projects, like the ones discussed on this panel, and many other projects. Sometimes they just need more awareness. So I made it my mission to just go grassroots, just all organic, not taking a penny from anyone. I believe that often just having the hardest thing is delayed gratification. So just building piece by piece. I've worked with some big names in XRP and Ethereum. Those are some of the projects that I worked with. And my goal is really that. My goal with Angry Crypto, and that's why it started as Angry, was there were too many people that would tell you, hey, refinance your home for this meme coin. And there was no research, there was no disclosure. And we know that Cardano and research is like peanut butter and jelly. Cardano and the intelligence, it's like Bitcoin, but on steroids. It's the real Bitcoin maxi. Now, but with that being said, I think that all projects coexist together. So one of my missions is trying to, and I'll break down some research today of trying to be the glue between the blockchains, trying to be the human that kind of bridges the gap between networks so that we can celebrate our differences. And there's a lot of hostility sometimes, right? A black and white of no, we're the best, no, we're the best. But the beautiful thing about Cardano is it has a narrative that is perfect for its product market fit. The other networks, if they experience outages or hacks or what have you, contribute to Cardano's mission statement and branding. And so I put together kind of some interesting research to share with you guys today. You know, I'm a UX designer, and we know humans are chaotic, unpredictable. They work better with approximation. I'll give you an example. Marcus, if you want to answer this, if I asked you how long does it take to go to the grocery store, what would you say?
It depends on the country.
Right, there you go. It depends. So humans, we're very approximate. We never say like 5.5544 kilometers, or we don't give a quantized thing. We're very qualitative. We're very emotion filled. And we saw that with Nike. We saw that with Charles Hoskinson's pet pig. And the funny thing was that pet pig creating so much trading volume on Cardano was bringing in people like Frank D. Gods, was bringing in other people, bringing in new networks for us. And so sometimes people, they're always like, oh, Cardano, it's dead, it's this and that. But I'm going to share with you guys some research to prove otherwise. Sentiment, for instance, showed that Cardano was leading positive sentiment, surpassing Bitcoin. Another popular one you guys probably heard of was the brand intimacy for Cardano, leading Bitcoin, leading and among basically number one in blockchain. But so, as someone who has made multiple channels on YouTube, I notice the YouTube trends. I notice what people are watching, what aren't they watching. And we know that TVL doesn't equal community. We know that there are some metrics that can be gained more than ever before. It's wilder than it's ever been. And source from Google Trends, for instance, Cardano on average is searched anywhere from 2 to 7 times more than many competitors. I use that loosely, competitors that are above Cardano, beneath Cardano. And so we know just from that research with Google Trends that people are searching up to 7 times more than some competitors on YouTube. They go searching Cardano, ADA. And so Cardano has a strong community. That's the takeaway. Cardano has a strong community. Cardano has, they show up. We see them in the Google Trends support that. And most of people's issues right now are rooted just with Bitcoin. But Bitcoin, in addition to that, not a lot of people look at social sentiment. The current interest of Bitcoin sits at only 20% on Google Trends compared to spring of 2021 peaks. So in a nutshell, Cardano is looking very strong with qualitative research, things that we can't necessarily find the line because it's delayed. They're searching Cardano more than ever on platforms like YouTube. The community is very strong. And I believe from my experience that Cardano has a very unique product market fit that's very chain agnostic. We see this with gentlemen from Europe and Africa, and it's very approachable. It seems to have a very approachable brand. So I continue to study the qualitative stuff, what makes people tick, what makes them kind of enjoy the novelty, if you will, and ingraining that into the work with Angry Crypto. Daily Cardano videos, increase the awareness, and last but definitely not least, is breaking down the abundance of technical jargon we have. We know that Cardano has a lot of advanced stuff that can be quite overwhelming for users. So part of my mission as a UX designer is like generate positive emotions, help distill that information for people who are beginners, because I believe truly that Web3 has some big UX barriers. Sometimes it's information, sometimes it's like, how do I do this? And so I'm looking at this as a whole, continuing to spearhead my commitment to help Cardano. It's truly a great project. And I think the more that people realize like, oh, wow, Cardano is really beautiful. But there's different ways we can do that. And so some of the ways that you guys are doing that is also great. The efforts with DEX and Canada's no different. You know, Canada, if I go outside in my city of like 200, 300,000 people, and I ask them like even Bitcoin, they'll be like, huh, what? So, and that's the thing, is that there's a great saying, you got to speculate to accumulate. We're still the early adopters. We're still the pioneers, but I think we're making good strides. And I think with governance, I think we're ready to be in a very competitive spot. So yeah, that's like me in a nutshell. I don't want to bore you guys with like my bio and this and that. I do graphic design, I do UX research, and just like end-to-end marketing solution, you know.
Very cool.
But yeah, all the pains you mention are affecting all networks, and pains that he's experiencing in Africa are just as prominent here in terms of like what's going on. Last thing I want to note is that I'll be attending Futurist. So I'll definitely be mentioning Cardano and talking about Cardano there. That's Canada's biggest event. That's in Toronto. But yeah, just sharing some insights and whatnot. Pleasure to be here.
Very nice,
Sorry.
Alexander.
Sorry, go on.
No, I just wanted to thank Alexander for his presence. He was so kind to reply to me, to my request to join the event. And I really discovered him by chance, proposed by YouTube. So I found, wow, that's somebody that can tell us something different. And I really would like to have him in our event. So thank you again for having joined us.
One thing I want to mention too is as a with marketing, anytime people speak negatively of Cardano, which is okay, we have to, the only constant is change. There's always room for improvement, but I always thank them for letting Cardano live rent free in their head. I would be concerned if people never spoke about it. For me, I look at these things as in UX, and I'm like, yeah, check. And with the treasury and with everything else, Cardano is truly doing things that many networks, I don't think, are willing to do. So I'm super excited for Q4. I think Cardano is ready to do some amazing things and support a bustling ecosystem. And my pleasure, David. Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
No problem, no problem.
But my
It's
pleasure to be here. I can't speak Greek, but I have Greek names, so I'll meet you halfway.
Great.
I know your channel is still young, but did you have the time? I mean, but you touched with different crypto projects. So looping a little bit back to my original question, did you see? I know Polygon was doing a lot of zk things, but also with the fiat onboarding or on-ramp solutions. What did you see? What is the sentiment outside of Cardano? What is a thing that you can pass further to talented people like Stanislav and his co-founder, and Boaz and his team? Like just in general, do we have to be, I wouldn't say fearful when we contact other networks? Like, I know when I come into a community that is not Cardano driven, it's often like, yeah, I'm one of the Cardano guys. And then actually nothing happens. And I was like, okay, cool. I still can talk. Right? So, but what is your observation in that part? And the second part, do you also do interviews or mostly reaction videos? So is a project like zkFold, which is one of the spearheaders in our ecosystem, is that a good project to have an interview with and get promoted by your channel as well, maybe? If they want to do that, I'm not doing things like, I mean, you have to do connections in the end, but sorry.
No, we're happy to join, but then I don't want to push any pressure to your answer, Alexander.
Yeah, to answer your question of first, I'll address the first part of your question was like what I've noticed with other networks, perhaps touching base more macro of like the privacy aspect. I think privacy, even Vitalik made a good point that privacy is for everyone. As much as we advocate for transparency, we all got a window and a door. Who are we kidding? We all want some level of privacy. It's a gradient, much like with centralization and decentralization. It's really a gradient. what I have noticed is that, you know, the communities seem to be torn apart with the war on Tornado Cash, and then Monero experiencing many delistings, including here in Canada. We can see that privacy is a very polarizing topic, especially with the networks. I think what is going on with Cardano, especially with like Midnight and Partner Chain and what's going on there, I think addresses a lot of the issues with immutability and having access to privacy. And I think it's just a right. People should be able to, as much as I'm doxxed and I'm not anonymous, I still support the people who want different levels of anonymity. I think that is a true grassroots approach to cryptocurrency, because everyone's needs are different. There's not a one size fits all. With the other networks, I haven't really seen things that were truly like extremely attractive or had a good product market fit. When I think privacy, all that comes to my mind were like Monero, Tornado Cash, Midnight, like just big names that come to mind. I did also see a surge of projects that were trying to do cipher states and integrate a variety of like governance features in addition to, but it's like the more and more I saw them mature, the more and more I saw that they were starting from zero and they had to build a community from nothing. And of course, Cardano, one of our leading advantages is our time-tested, robust network without downtimes, without having compromises, and that community that has been building for nearly over a decade. So even though Midnight is like around the corner, it kind of feels like it's the continuation of so much old work. So even though I saw projects that seemingly were working on some kind of packages, DAO plus you can do KYC here in a way that doesn't compromise your identity and all these different things, it just didn't seem as fleshed out. When you look at what Cardano is doing with like the 8th biggest treasury going to the community and many other things, I think Cardano's product market fit is much better suited for privacy. And it seems to, again, cater to its narrative. It just seems to work out better that way. I haven't seen something that is truly exciting me on the privacy front from some of the other networks. And then the last thing regarding what you said with zkFold, absolutely. I started out kind of reviewing and reacting to meme coins and whatnot in the beginning of my channel, but I kind of changed a little bit. That was to bootstrap some fast growth, because I think cross-collaborative marketing is a very powerful tool. We see that with Cardano projects as of late too, doing a lot of that. With zkFold and many other projects, I'm always happy to do an interview and to learn more. And I like to just keep things like honest and transparent and yeah, always open for different collaborations and to work with different projects and founders. Absolutely, it's my pleasure.
Wonderful. So there's a little tick in my mission, or our mission accomplished. We made one connection at least.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, Angry Crypto's just one. So this was probably like my 5th YouTube channel.
Oh.
But this is, yeah, it's like it's dedicated just for right now. It's just Cardano dominating it. But again, like I said, maybe it's like founders, this or that. We have a media pass for Futurists this year, so we'll be able to lock down some interviews there as well and see if anyone from Cardano community is shown up there as well. It'll be nice. It's a very nice setup. They have a cabana open pool bar, so you can come in and out, and it's very relaxed, very nice setting.
Here's one question for that is probably interesting for those founders who try to build a YouTube channel. There's currently one thing, I know it's not the best thing to do, but I do it, is using AI technology to use my face, making little tiny explanations. And it's, most people won't believe it, but I'm kind of a shy person and I like to work somewhat efficient. And this technology allows me to basically write things down and then let it do their thing. I probably would get a bit of a better exposure if I do it by myself, like 100%. But I have a certain goal that I'm trying to reach with it. So it's basically just tutorials for the thing that I'm building in the end. But so
Well, I have a comment about that.
Sorry?
No, I have a comment about that if you don't mind.
Yes,
Sorry to
please.
interrupt.
So I'm basically answering my own question
yeah.
here. Being natural is the best thing, I guess. But what would you say is a good thing to build up a YouTube channel for a project? Is it just showing up, or is there something else? There must be something else, because people just showing up isn't enough.
I'm glad you asked. I think half the battle in life is just showing up, right? Whether it's a workout or you want to go to church or whatever it is in your life, half the battle is just showing up. But the second thing is consistency. Time and time again, people forget to be consistent, but also being patient with themselves. 4,000 subs or whatever it is, 10K subs. Even if I had 1 million subs, I'm still the same person, and I have to have the same attitude and the beginning to the end. And often we get obsessed with lagging indicators, and in crypto, this is adversely affecting it more than ever. SafeMoon pioneered like smoke and mirrors and nonsense and really played on people's emotions adversely. We saw the fruit that bore, and it went up so fast, and everyone else was so impatient. Like, why can't my project do this and that? And the reality is that for anyone listening who wants to start a YouTube, the Twitch founder said that 90% of streamers stop after 30 days. What if they just continued a second or third month? So much like us planting a fruit, it sounds cliche, but much like us planting a tree, doing whatever, finding your edge in crypto is key. For me, that's like speaking, graphics, podcasts, stuff like that. And you are the hedge. You are the hedge against inflation. So for me with YouTube, it's showing up, knowing that not every video might be perfect, not being too much of a self-critic on your own work. We tend to, as society, have a spotlight effect where we think everyone's looking at us. No, we're not that special. Everyone has their own life going on, their own pains and problems that they're experiencing, and they may be thinking the same thing. So AI is an amazing thing. Every day I'm using Adobe Firefly within Photoshop to make those interesting Charles Hoskinson. Maybe he's doing a weird suit. Maybe he's wearing something like that. I believe machine learning with AI is an amazing sous chef. And it's great to use as a co-pilot to work a little bit faster. In OBS, when I'm recording live, I have chroma key removal powered by NVIDIA. Firefly is my go-to inside of Photoshop to work faster, to remove subjects from a background quicker, and it actually does a better job. And so I think lean on the tools that are available to you to work quicker. But with that, be careful. As a musician, I've learned that when you go from a novice to a master, you end up being so self-critical of your work, you never release it. Maybe some of you guys can comment as a musician or an artist when you release stuff so quick, but it comes to a point where a master is so self-critical of his work. I'm not a master, but just as an analogy, he doesn't release it. And so don't be too tough on yourself, and just continue to be consistent, and know that the views and the subs and everything else is lagging. It takes some time. Continue to water the plant every day. It will come. As long as you love it, and you might still have some down days, but as long as you're consistent and don't make the process too tough where you resent it technically. I don't even edit my videos when I upload to YouTube. It's just live. It's just start and end. But imagine if I had to do like 50 more steps, I'll begin to resent the technical process. So if you can speed up the workflow and optimize the workflow, then you'll be set for success. And that was what I did before I made the channel. I was smoking a cigar, drinking some coffee with my brother. I'm like, okay, I got this idea, that idea. He's like, what about this? What about that? I'm like, no. Less is more. You don't need to be on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and this and this and this and this, because you're spread too thin. If you can just be on 2 platforms and do great, or 1 platform, start with 1. So I think we're in an additive society. We try to do too many things, but humans, we learn the hard way. We just got to reduce, optimize, and be consistent with it. That's my 2 cents.
Wonderful.
Very good, love it. That's one of the quotes you just said. That's one of my mentors always said. Don't think you're special. Like you are special, but don't over importance yourself. If that is kind of a English that makes sense. So because I was this guy who would make clownish things, right, and get the good feedback from the elder people. And at some point, it was like I just reacted like, "Who did this?" And I said, "Oh, it wasn't me." And then they would say, "Don't think you're special. I didn't even think about you," right? So transfer that to the rest of your life and be okay with not being in ideal state all the time. So I love that quote that you brought. It brought up some memories. So yeah,
Yeah, if you guys need any good quotes, Marcus Aurelius, he's classic. He'll give you guys so many good quotes.
stoic, right?
Nice.
Yeah, just mindset, half of it's just the right mindset. And sometimes just be patient with yourself. We may be too impatient with our goals, but we're sleeping 1/3 of our life, so we have to be patient with ourselves. You might be doing everything perfectly, but just be a little bit patient. And it's tough, but just wait it a little bit out, a little bit longer. And I mean, all these ideas that you guys have are fantastic. Yeah, exactly. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Exactly. What do you have to lose? Like someone's gonna make fun of you? Who cares? We don't know that person, like so it's one of those things that just go out there, do it, and if you fail forward. You got this.
Yeah, love that.
And
Any questions?
learn
Yes.
and learn with the fails and learn with the errors because you
Yes.
will grow.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
I was about to
1000%.
ask. I was about to ask Eduardo if he had any question because he's one of the most consistent guests we have. Thank you, Eduardo.
My grandfather all the time say that I think it's popular in the world. It's like the mistake. It's the normal of human being. And my grandfather all the time also to avoid the mistake. It's part of the nature of human being. To avoid the mistake. But if we make a mistake, try to learn with this mistake and grow up.
100%.
Yeah, this is very true. Often we want there's a musician, Kashmir, a really big EDM producer, and he's like, I'm just throwing so and so on the wall to see what sticks, maybe by the 9th time or the 10th time. And if we don't make a mistake, we truly haven't begun. We have to get our knees hit. We have to get some injuries. We have to reach for what's impossible to know what's possible, but often we're too afraid. So for any builders, like just forget about the vanity, what others think. They're all gonna doubt us. Look how they doubt Cardano. But I showed you guys some social metrics that prove that people are going and searching for it and looking for it, and it's evident. And at the end of the day, successful projects will also be polarizing. And so we see how there's also lots of hatred with Bitcoin and many other big projects, you name them. And yeah, what you said, Eduardo, is key. Just making mistakes. If I could go back in time, I'd just make more mistakes to learn faster, rather than fearing them. There's no one will benefit if you just fear it, for sure, 100%. And like you said, Eduardo, yeah, that's what I remember. Humans, we seek survival. This is why we often don't want to do it. We don't want to make the mistake. Our brain seeks survival, but so sometimes we gotta think outside the box and intentionally go forth with some faith. And like you said, Eduardo, maybe we have a mistake. We gotta change it up and be impartial. Wise man once said, I know nothing. So we always have to look at are we doing the right thing and tweak accordingly.
That was me during my Latin test. I know
I like-
nothing. So,
The Latin test, you said?
I just wanted to add to that. I was once on the conference where a marketing lead made a beautiful picture. She said, when you as a founder start with your social channel, just post, because what happens if you create one poo post, and then you stop. You have, let's say, 6 images, right? And one is the poo post, the shit post that nobody likes, that you didn't like. Maybe somebody else didn't care. And you stop there. Then it sits there and it's huge. But if you continue and add 100 more posts, this one poo post will vanish. It will get small, tiny. And if somebody finds it, they have 100 posts of evidence that you're doing things good. And then that's evolution. And it's evolution that is visible. I loved that example back then.
Yeah, that's a beautiful example. We see that in the music industry too, where the top names, you can go to their SoundCloud and you see tracks going all the way past the decade, and to see that growth. And sometimes people are concerned to show that growth. Maybe they're afraid to be vulnerable for that growth. But even adding to what you said, Marcus, if they came to that viral post, maybe now they can go and give more impressions to the other posts. And they see a humanized side of the founder. And I think sometimes one thing that can maybe help with that too is I think it was the writer for Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't forget his name, Mark Rubin or something. He said something like when you write in a diary, you write it for yourself. You don't write it for others. And he said when you write it for others, you're commercializing it. And when you write it for yourself, ironically, that's what connects with the other people. It's this unique story. It's not something that's written for all the other people. And often the riches are in the niches. So whether it's like a DEX in Africa, whether it's with zkFold, whether it's anything else, or specifically honing in on like Cardano content, I think that's a key. That's a key, is like when you have your unique style, as you said, Marcus, like whether it's more natural, people tune in to people, interesting people. So that's why AI, when people are like, why is no one watching this video with like an AI voice? People are getting, I'm sure you guys get aggravated. Is this a real voice AI? Do I hear the breath? Sometimes people are yearning for the human touch. And so, yeah, just not being so too self-critical, but the human touch is key. We'll always need the human touch with whatever we do.
So cool.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you by
Nice work.
your words. Again, by this discussion between Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and other blockchains, Solana, and this, something that we need to begin to answer, it's the technology don't have ego. Don't have ego. It's result or don't result. And for me, because I'm in Portugal and I talk, Portugal, Lisbon begin to be an important blockchain hub. Many people don't know. It's like a little surprise when I talking about Cardano. But if we begin to bring the real world for the Cardano, I believe that I don't need the ego Cardano to the things to result. It's binary technology. It's a very good language program, the Bluetooth, and we need to increase the good words for Cardano and begin to change the way we thinking. Thank you for your words, Alexander.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. I agree 100%.
Amazing, amazing. So what should we do, Marcus? What do you think?
I think we have a great final word. You shouldn't read that comment.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I was always wondering if that it's the same sounding, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much. It's close
Pretty
enough.
much the same. I think that what you said is a great final word, unless somebody else wants to add something. Follow up with what you have planned and don't get distracted. And if you have had a break, for whatever reason because life kicked in, just get back and continue. Thank you. Yeah, we're close to a summer break. We're gonna remain, but I guess many people in the ecosystem, it's gonna be a bit quieter, even though we have Catalyst around the corner, the voting. We will have a Idea Fest next week. I don't know if I slept before and overheard it, but yeah, it's an extra session. So join us if you want to. You're all invited, and see what the ecosystem has got to bring as new projects that want to get founded. And in own interest, we have a Catalyst proposal as well to get funded for our operations. Davide has a proposal for his project. Derek, are you involved in other projects as well? I think probably you are. zkFold has proposals. I don't know, Eduardo, do you have a proposal running?
Not a proposal, but Omar, I have a project, but until now I feel that it's not adequate for a Catalyst project, because the idea is to create a side chain to Cardano and to create a accountability platform for the companies. Because I want to, because my background is management, and I want to create another level of management the companies. My idea is two innovations. One, to create a side chain to make the accountability, because for me it's completely crazy that today, if I talk with some boss, show me the numbers of your company, the guy don't know the numbers. The guy don't know the numbers. It's completely stupid. It's okay, it's normal last century, but today, if I can go to my wallet and see the value of my investment in the company with thousands or dozens of employees, and with the responsibility that the boss have to many families, tell me your numbers. I don't know how you make a decision. Base your decision only in the feelings or base in the numbers. Of course, the numbers, it's not enough to make a decision. Sometimes we need to see the quality of the environment, see the persons, see the elements don't have numbers. But we need numbers. We need numbers. Okay, I can make a good decision, but I don't know if I have the money to pay these decisions. And I need to know the numbers. And my idea is to make a disrupt in the companies, and because my idea is public, permissional public to the small and mid-sized companies, because don't have the knowledge and the money to invest. But the idea is today, when we make a business, usually you have three flows of transaction. One flow, the monetary flow, the service or products flow, and the documentation flow, the invoice, and these kind of things. And my idea is to create only two flows, the product or service flow, and the other to join the monetary and the documentation flow, and to make the records directly in the accountability of each company, and more. Not to send today, when we talking to companies, okay, give me your bank account. No, I don't want to send the money to bank account. I want the money in the company's wallet. Why I need to put the money in the banks? Why? If I have the money of my investment in my wallet, why not to make this to the companies? You know, it's complex. It's complex, and I like the complex things because I need to thinking. And I want to make this with Cardano because in my research convinced me, and I think it's the best one in terms of security and in terms of the scalability. It's step by
Yeah, I
step.
think you're touching a point here where you have small business owners are getting confused with the taxation related flow and the cash flow that is product related. Yeah, that definitely is a point that can be streamlined to make things easier.
The idea, for example, in that, like in the Cardano, 20% of rewards go to the Cardano treasury. Why not to make something similar, for example, for the VAT? Because when you make a transaction, you need to pay a VAT. Why not decide, the community decides the percentage of the VAT that each product needs to be in charge, and not someone in the office, in the government decides. In Portugal, it's 23%. It's completely crazy. You know, the idea of the blockchain, it's to change the society and the way we need to government the society. Because if you see the long history, in the beginning of each century, the government and the way we govern the society change. 2 centuries ago, it's monarchy. Last century begins the republic. Now maybe we need to create the network state. It's one book I recommend for crazy people to read, the network state. And for me, it's more the most disruptive book I see, connect with the blockchain. And I want to change the rules of this part of the world and begin with the economy. Because it's completely crazy the way that the people all the time see GDP. It's a completely wrong measure to see the growth of the society. And the most funny things, it's the guy who invents GDP and begins to put in practice in the United States. Even the guy in the book writes, be careful with this. This is not the best indicator to grow. It's not the best. But we see that the politicians decide to bring the honor of the country, of their politics. We can grow, but the state don't make anything. This is the honor of the private sector who bring the economy to grow. But this is a little complex, and I take many times to talking and to explain. Sorry, but my idea is to bring blockchain for the companies and for all the stakeholders, and more. I want create a smart contract, labor smart contract. You pay me, you give me the legal contract, but I want a smart contract, a labor smart contract to be paid for my job. We need to change everything. Sorry.
No, all good, all good. So at least people have now the idea. Nobody can say you're not passionate about what you're doing.
Exactly.
So that's
Completely passion. Sorry.
You're very welcome always,
no,
Eduardo.
absolutely hear this one.
Completely. It's 2 years of work, 2 years of work and thinking, and
Perfect.
many source.
So if you then need developers, I think we have some here in the ecosystem, and probably Stanislav will be one to talk to, because some of
And
these things.
this is one of the reasons I begin to come to these Zooms, to see the people, to see the way the people thinking, and maybe to find, because I'm not the guy of the codes. I understand everything, and even today I begin to study the hash graph and see if this technology, if I can say that, maybe if makes sense to my project to use the hash graph to create this side chain to Cardano.
Maybe it would be good to jump into Gimbal Labs and ask some questions there.
Okay.
That would be probably a good place to start it, because you have.
I think I begin to think into maybe Wolfram make a very good research about Cardano and have the details inside what features inside of a transaction. It's many fields, the hash, the amount, the inputs, the outputs, many feature, if I can talking in this way. And problem is to add more features to the transaction.
Why I'm saying this is because if you make yourself a thesis, make a diagram, right? Make a flow diagram and see where information should flow into, and then go with that diagram to an organization, for example, like Gimbal Labs. I had very great success with talking to the people at Atala Prism. Those guys led me through a lot of parts, like in for example, Pete, or to have a good conversation about what you're trying to do, and then they will help you to shape your idea, and then you see where you have technical parts to be built on. You have something that has been verified through somebody who is technical but knows how to talk non-technical. And with that concept, then you can go out and look for people that are technical enough to build what you have envisioned, because otherwise you will literally drown in the information trying to understand the technology at all, which is not necessary. You need to understand that the technology you want to use is profound, and you need to have the verification by people that you trust, that can tell you, okay, this is what you want to build, and this is what is going to work. Just to give you an example, 2015 or so, an Israeli guy approached me to tell me, okay, I want to build a decentralized shopping system, and I want to build it on Jimdo, which is a something like Squarespace, right? It's a web platform that is highly centralized. It's a web form. It's a web page builder. And I told him, you don't build something like what you want on a general web page builder. You need somebody else to have a full technology stack behind that would actually do what you want and not limit you. He said, you don't envision the idea. So I envision exactly what you want to do, but you're running on the wrong technology, and those people who have been building this with you did actually steal your money. And unfortunately, the project died because of exactly of these things. I revisited the whole thing 3 years later, and we got back in touch and said, how are you doing? Yeah, we need more time. So don't get lost in the whole technology stack. Write down what you want to do. Get the idea flow, like what is it that you want to do, and then try to connect a few of the technologies that you know already, and then talk to the people that are in the middle of the technologists and the product developers,
Thank you.
product managers.
Thank you. Thank you. I will
Very
follow your advice.
Thank you. I hope it was right.
You, you
I
know,
will-
I know what I want to see the result, and I have this flow, but it's like Alessandro said, I try to avoid mistakes and try to give my best, and it's the best of the best. It's sometimes it's stupid because we need time to achieve this the perfection, and sometimes I need to stop and maybe to follow your advice, and to begin to share these ideas and to feel the feedback.
So that was a great final word. Again, a final word, but I think with that, I hand over to Davide.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, it was an amazing town hall as usual. We didn't expect to make it that long, but the guests were amazing. Eduardo made a fantastic presentation of his idea. So I really want to thank everybody again to have joined us. Alexander, I'll write you soon. Thank you for accepting my invite for this town hall. And Stanislas, thank you very much. Boaz, you are always a myth. And we see each other next week for the Idea Fest, and an exceptional event, and then in 2 weeks for the regular town hall Fireside Chat. Thank you very much, guys. Have a nice one.
Thank
Ciao.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Great.
Ciao.
Ciao.